joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism ride. Play this shit right here, resuscitate your pimping and get you right back on your mission ride. For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here, the spark right your home and just get you right back right here, man. That you play when you feeling down on your ism ride. Play this shit right here, resuscitate your pimping and get you right back. Birth, my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them bag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like the renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite. Blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright. But they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashing for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master magician, niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route. You're working with turnouts, it's murdering burnouts. Knocking one of you niggas for a scar, bitch. That's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless. Empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard. I make that trapping ass bad bitch wanna hold hard. Can't stop, won't stop. Popping pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Popping pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Popping pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Popping pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Come on, pimpin', man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin' nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. What's up with it? Top of the top to the game, though. I did a pimp tales with y'all in a minute, man, so here we go. Let me see. I want to get my lighting a little bit better. I guess that's cool. Y'all can see and hear Pimp real good. Let me know if y'all can see and hear Pimp real good. I got a beautiful story for y'all tonight, man. For real, for real. Let me know if y'all can see and hear me good before we get into it. We gonna get right into it. Somebody let me know if y'all can see and hear me good. I might be delayed with my comments. Okay, cool. Y'all can see me and I know y'all can hear me. Okay, good. So we gonna get right into it, right? So as the title suggests, Freeze versus 30 Mexicans. Boy, boy, boy. I could have titled this shit The Night Freeze Should Have Got Killed by 30 Mexicans, cause I swear to you, I was like inches away from getting beat to death by these motherfuckers, right? So we gonna start, from the beginning of the day. Now, mind you, you know what I mean. This is Freeze got a beautiful imagination. I'm gonna just say that, right? So, you know, Freeze got a beautiful imagination, man. So, parts of the story might be made up, you dig, but y'all know how to read between the lines. But here we go. So, first mistake that I made that day, I left the motherfucking house with sandals on. And when you in motherfucking LA, man, you never know what the fuck is gonna happen. The streets is unpredictable, the city is unpredictable, the county is unpredictable. So you never know how your motherfucking day is gonna turn out. So with that being said, you don't know if you're gonna have to run, you don't know if you're gonna have to fight, you don't know if you're gonna have to kick, jump, you don't know if you're gonna have to be athletic or not. So it is unwise to leave the house with some motherfucking sandals on. But that's what I did. Like in jail we call it, going into the day room with your shower shoes on. You're not supposed to do that. Because when you're in jail, a riot could break out at any time and you want to be prepared. And you're not going to be prepared if you got shower shoes on. So that's the first mistake that I made on this day, right? So I'm in Long Beach. I'm in my city. I leave the crib, jump in the truck with the shower shoes on, you dig, in the day room. The day room is the whole LA County. You know what I mean? So I go out the house, I go into the day room with my shower shoes on. Big mistake, right? So I got my little bro Marv with me. Marv might be watching right now, you know what I mean? Shout out to my little bro Marv. He was with me on this day, right? And Marv, you know what I mean, if you in the house, chuck a deuce at me or something like that, right? But anyway, so Marv jump in the truck with me and we slide from Long Beach and we moving around the city. Oh yeah, matter of fact, I think Marv needed a ride. I think he needed a That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay, Marv needed a ride to the Greyhound station downtown LA. So, I wasn't really planning on getting in traffic like that. So that's why I left the house, or that's why I left the into the day room with the shower shoes on. I wasn't really planning on moving around like that. You dig? But I jump in the truck with Marv. We shoot to downtown LA to the Greyhound station because he got to go there, right? So we get there. It's gonna be a little while before his bus leave, right? So we pull up to the Greyhound station, and as y'all already know, you know how the ism do. We on the prowl like a night owl. You dig? We stunting and hoe hunting around this motherfucker. So, when we pull up, I jump out. I'm walking into the building, and I see a little white girl sitting on the ground, talking on the phone. Right? Well, not on the ground, like on a little ledge, but it's like real close to the ground. Right? So she like crouched down, talking on the phone. But she like real loud and bold with her conversation, right? So she kind of like broadcasting her conversation. So it's a real game related conversation. So that's what I say. As I'm walking into the door, I said, sound like a real game related conversation. And then she like, oh yeah, it's always game related. Woo, woo, woo. So I walk into the door, I move around the building, see what's going on in there. I leave out the building. She's still sitting there. By this time, she off the phone. So she and I get into a conversation. And she proceeds to tell me that she got 5 different pimps' names tattooed on her. One of the pimp's names that's tattooed on her currently, she had his name crossed out, but she had his name retatted on her, right? She's showing me all the different pimps' names. One of them got a crown next to it, you know what I mean? All this type of shit, right? She got 5 different pimps' names on her. So, one of the pimps, like I said, she had crossed his name out, and then she got his name retatted on him, and that's where she was on her way to. That's why she was at the Greyhound station, because she was on her way to this pimp that she got retatted on her, right? Pimp can't make this shit up, man. Hold on, man. Before we go any further, y'all go ahead and please wipe your feet off at the door if you haven't done so at this time. What I mean by that is if you ain't hit that icon that look like this, go ahead and do that at this time, man. Hit that thumbs up button for a Pimp, please, and thank you. And of course, Pimp got to, this is really the first order of business that I was supposed to already have been done, man. Y'all see the love, man. I got to put some love in my body, man. Yeah, it's going to be a classic tonight, though. Put some of this good old love. Cheers to the game. Okay. So, hold on. Okay, so moving up right along with the pimp tail. So, like I said, chick got 5 pimps tatted on her. One of them she crossed out, got his name retatted. That's who she's on her way to. So, she telling me all her business. She just divulging everything to a pimp. She like, yeah, the reason why I'm going to Vegas to fuck with this dude is because I'm gonna go over there, and the bitch is just, and she knows that I'm like, we done already established what I am, and we done already established what she is, and she should know because she got 5 different pimps tatted on her. She should know that pimps talk, pimps know each other, and if we don't know each other, we got a mutual pimp friend. We be in contact with each other. We know who each other are, even if it is we know who each other is, even if we don't know each other personally. I done heard of him, he done heard of me, so on, right? So the bitch should have knew. She should have had this in mind, but she didn't. So the bitch like, yeah, when I get out there, I'm gonna play it cool for a minute, and then I'm gonna rob him. I'm gonna take all his jewelry. I'm gonna take his money because I know where his money be at. I know where his jewelry be at. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna make it like everything cool, and then I'm gonna rob him because woo 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 woo, right? Bitch just telling me this shit, right? She got plans to rob this man. So, and then she proceeds to tell me that she had one trick send her $200, Western Union, which is right there at the Greyhound station, right? So she let me know she got at least 200 on her as we speak. She proceeds to tell me that she had a different individual send her $60 MoneyGram. Now, MoneyGram is not walking distance from the Greyhound, so she needs a ride there. So when she tell me that she got the money at MoneyGram, I say, come on, jump in with me, let's go. So she jumps in the vehicle with me, right? Now, even if you were square, you've been watching Freeze for a minute, you understand how the game go. If you a hoe and you know that you're a hoe, and you get in the vehicle with a pimp in his vehicle, and you know that he's a pimp, it's no, I wonder if this guy's a pimp. It's no, I wonder if he knows that I'm a hoe. It ain't none of that. You know, as a hoe, that this is a pimp that you get in the vehicle with, and he knows that you're a hoe. This has already been well established before we both get into the vehicle, right? Nonetheless, we both get in the vehicle. Bitch get in the vehicle knowing what it is. I know what it is, right? So we pull up to the MoneyGram, probably about 3 miles down the street, 3, 4 miles down the street, right? We pull up to the MoneyGram. I pull up and park. She go inside. She get her money from the MoneyGram, right? Now, when she get inside the truck back with me, right? I do like this. I don't say nothing. I don't open my mouth. I don't do nothing. I just do like this, right? She like, what you doing? I can't give you this money right now. I need this money. Woo, woo. So again, I don't say anything. I just, re-emphasize my gesture. And she like, I ain't giving you this money. I can't give you this money. Woo, woo, woo. So, as I proceed to tell her, look, you already know what it is. Woo, woo, woo. She opened it. She trying to go for the door, right? So I cloop, cloop, cloop. I lock the doors up. You know what I mean? The bitch cloop, cloop. She unlocked the motherfucker. I cloop, cloop, lock it back. You know what I mean? The bitch cloop, cloop, and open the door real quick and get up out of there. I tried to lock it from her end. I tried to reach past her and lock the door. But, it's an Escalade. This motherfucker big and wide as a motherfucker. So I'm trying to reach way the fuck over here. The bitch, she get up out the truck, right? So, mind you, I done left Marv at the Greyhound. It's just me and the bitch that went on this ride. My little partner Marv, he's still at the Greyhound, right? So, the bitch, she makes it out the truck. And like, say the truck is facing this way, she get out the truck and start walking that way. And the corner is right there, right? It's an intersection with a light, crosswalk, all that shit, right? So she's walking this way. So I do a U-turn, and now I'm in the turning lane in the middle of the intersection, ready to go this way, right? The bitch is walking this way. So I'm in the turning lane right here, in the middle of the intersection. The bitch walks to right here. Now, when she gets right here, I'm right here, the bitch is right here, and the police is right here facing me. As they in the left turn lane too to make a left. So the police is right here. So the bitch, police right here in the turning lane. I'm like T-bone across from them in the turning lane. The bitch walks between us. And she get right here, right? And the bitch is looking dead at me. She like, and it's a white girl, but she kind of like niggerized, you know what I mean? She like, yeah, nigga, keep on fucking with me. I'ma put this. The bitch put her finger on the hood of the police car. She said, I'm gonna put them all in your business. I said, ooh wee. So I get all the way in pocket on the bitch and the police and everybody. I'm fully in pocket. I act like don't nobody exist. I don't know what the bitch talking about. We in downtown LA. Motherfuckers be high on drugs, talking to themselves, making shit up, you know what I mean? Talking to imaginary people that only they can see but nobody else can see. So I'm treating the bitch like that. I'm all the way in pocket. I'm like looking straight forward, but I kind of like give the side eye, and I see the police looking at the bitch like she crazy. So I'm thinking to myself like, okay, the police, they probably think the bitch just another crazy motherfucker downtown, right? So I was scared as fuck because I'm thinking the police finna blurt me, but the bitch, she continues across the street, and I continue with my left turn. Police get back to doing what they doing. And, fortunately it was LA, man, because, police in LA, they so busy dealing with gangs and murders and drugs and guns and all that type of shit. Little situations like that, they kind of just like brush off, you know what I mean? Unless it's something like serious, like they brush that type of shit off all the time. If it was Vegas or if it was somewhere else, Arizona or some shit like that, you know what I mean? Virginia, Pimp would have been like, man, fucking punk ass bitch, faggot ass bitch. You know what I mean? Getting my head pushed down so I could get in the police car If I was somewhere else, it would have been ugly. But fortunately, it was Los Angeles, man. That's one thing I appreciate about LA, man. Police, they grimy as a motherfucker, but they not really the pettiest. It's other places with way more pettier police. But anyway, so like I said, bitch crossed the street, I bust the left. So I'm headed back to the Greyhound station, right? And I call Marv. I say, yeah, man, you know, I just parted ways with the bitch. You know what I mean? If the bitch get over there before I do, let me know. So I get over there. I make it there like before the bitch, but slightly before the bitch. You know, she a hoe, so I'm already knowing what she did. Bitch probably, you know, jumped in the car with a trick, had a trick driver to the Greyhound station, so because she get there quick as a motherfucker. So next thing you know, the bitch is inside the Greyhound station, and you know, she talking with this little young dude. He a teenager. You know, they had been riding on the bus together from wherever they came from. So, you know, that was like her little travel companion, but he a kid. He ain't even an adult. He like probably 16 or 15 years old or something, right? So she in there talking with him. And while she in there talking with him, I go up to the glass, you know what I mean? I don't want to go inside because I know the bitch probably gonna make a scene. And I go up to the glass like it's cool. I knock on the glass. The bitch look at the glass. I'm like, what's up? You know what I mean? Come on outside, talk to a pimp. And the bitch, she like grinning at me, but she like, motherfucker, I ain't going out there. You know what I mean? So at this point, you know what I mean, I'm on some Rambo shit, you know what I mean? I'm on some Commando, you know what I mean? MacGyver, you know what I mean? I'm on some like I got a vendetta for this bitch because I really don't like how she like gamble with a pimp's freedom, you know what I mean? I don't like how she played with the police like that. And, you know, mind you, this was years ago. This is a long time ago, for one. Then two, you know what I mean, I'm a much wiser pimp now. I'm just a much wiser, sharper man now. And not just that, but I have a broader perspective on life. So if you put me in that situation today, I'm gonna view it completely differently, and because of that, I'm a behave differently in the situation, right? But at this time, I'm still that motherfucker that like can't stand snitches, and I still can't stand snitches, but I just view things differently now as far as like how, you know, in that situation, as Sinful would say, I emotionally reacted. Now I will mentally respond. In that situation, I'm emotionally reacting, you know what I mean? I think I'm on some logical shit, but it's really an emotional reaction. So, like I said, I'm bent on getting this bitch back. I can't let this bitch get away with playing with my freedom like that, right? So, I jump in the truck with Marv. I have him get in the driver's seat. We go down the street like 2 blocks. But these blocks is long as a motherfucker, right? These 2 blocks is really like 5 regular blocks. Or at least it seemed like that. They longer than 2 regular blocks though. Like, this shit is probably like, it's at least 1/3 of a mile long, right? These 2 blocks. Might be a little long, but it's at the minimum, it's 1/3 of a mile from the Greyhound to where we go, right? So we go down these blocks, and we park the truck to the right. Like, we go down, we bust that right. Immediately around the corner to the right. And I say, yeah, bro, stay right here. I'm finna go do something real quick, and I'm gonna come right back. So I said, be ready. You know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna come running. And when I come running, I'm gonna jump in the truck, and when I jump in, you just smash off. You know what I mean? So I'm mentally preparing him for what's gonna happen, right? So like I said, mistake number 1, I'm doing this shit with some motherfucking sandals on, right? So I can't bust this move with no sandals on. I ain't got no socks. I ain't got no tennis shoes. I ain't got no boots. I ain't got no dress shoes.
I ain't got no type of shoes, you know what I mean, except for these motherfucking sandals. And I definitely ain't about to try to bust this mission with these sandals on. So I go barefoot. I'm on some barefoot pookie. So I go barefoot pookie mode. I go, you know what I mean, down the street. And I go like halfway down the street towards the Greyhound station, right? And I'm in the cut just watching. And you know the bitch smokes cigarettes, so I know she gonna come outside, right? So the bitch come outside with the little young boy, and she smoking whatever, you know what I mean. So it's a little market, like a little corner store across the street from the Greyhound station, right? So her and a little young boy, they go across the street into the little market, right? So I'm like, cool, perfect, right? Mind you, one thing I forgot to mention, right? And it's gonna be relevant. You're gonna see the relevance of it in a few seconds. But the bitch had, like I said, she was telling me all her business. Bitch had a bunch of, she had like 6 or 7 fake IDs on her, right? The bitch showed me all of them. She like, yeah, these are my fake IDs. Bitch had like 6, 7 fake IDs, right? And she had a tank top on like a wife beater, and the bitch had put them in her bra. So in my mind, that's where she got these fake IDs. And you know, hoes, they put money in their bra. I'm thinking the bitch probably got her money in her bra, right? Or green hoes, you know what I mean? You know, whatever. I'm thinking the bitch got her money in her bra. So when she go into the corner store, I go be like, cause the door is open to the corner store, right? Like say this is the door. The door is open like this, right? So say this is the part where you walk in. The door is open. This is the door, and this is where you walk in at. This is the entrance. This is the door that's open. So as you know, this part between here, where the hinge is, you can look through and see inside the store. So I go behind the door. I'm back here and I'm peeking inside the store. I see the bitch at the register with the little boy, buying whatever she buying. I don't even remember what she was buying. But so the bitch, she coming out the motherfucking store, right? My evil ass at the time, you know, I think of something, right? I think of something. The next thing you know, the bitch, she on the ground like hollering and shit, right? So I use my mind and she end up on the ground. So the bitch on the ground hollering, right? And you know, I threw a pitch at her. That's basically what happened. You know what I mean? I'm like this. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the umpire. The umpire like this. Then the umpire go like this, and you know what I mean? I hit her with a pitch, you know what I mean? She end up on the ground. So when the bitch fall to the ground, I'm all in her bra and shit, you know what I mean? The fake IDs fall out. I get like 3 of them, and she didn't have no money right there. So I grabbed like 3 of the fake IDs, or I might have grabbed all of them. I can't remember. But I grabbed at least some of the fake IDs, right? And right, see, Detroit, I fuck with you, Detroit. You know what I mean? You been rocking with me for a long time too, man. And see, Detroit is smart. That's why I fuck with Detroit. You know what I mean? Jedi, I hit her with the Jedi mind trick, and she ended up on the ground, right? So going abroad, the IDs is flying everywhere. I scrape some of the IDs up. The little boy, he don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm way bigger than him. He a little skinny little kid. And plus, he a little kid. I ain't going to do nothing to him. But he was just standing there like a deer in the headlights. He didn't know what the fuck to do. He just standing there, right? So I'm picking the IDs up off the ground. And I start breaking down the street back towards the truck, right? As I'm breaking down the street, it's 2 Mexicans across the street on the side where the Greyhound station is, right? They probably like, some taxi drivers or something. So it I'm telling you, man, this movie, this shit was like that movie, man. fuck. I can't remember if it was The Outsiders, but somebody in here, y'all know that movie, man, where the motherfucking, it was the gang called the Ducky Boys. The motherfuckers would just emerge out of nowhere. Before you know it, it'd be like 100 of them motherfuckers. That's how this shit happened, right? So, like I said, scrape the IDs off the ground. I'm trying to run down the street. Well, I am running down the street. I'm running on my side of the street, though, down the sidewalk. The two Mexican dudes by the Greyhound station, they yelled to two other Mexican dudes that's like down there towards where I'm going. Well, no, actually it was three of them. So the two right here, they yelled to the three down here. Hey, get that motherfucker. Get his ass. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I gotta go back into my football days, you know. So now I'm finna have to Barry Sanders these motherfuckers, right? So the Wanderers, yeah. See, woo woo, you remember that movie, The Wanderers? That's how these motherfuckers was, man. They was like the Ducky Boys and the Wanderers, man. Them motherfuckers just came out of nowhere. So, like I said, it's three of them on the sidewalk ahead of me. So naturally, you know, I don't even think these motherfuckers know each other, but they all Mexicans though, right? They yelled to the three down there. These motherfuckers down here where I'm going, they don't even know what the fuck is going on. They so far down the street, they didn't see nothing, they didn't hear nothing. They don't even know what the fuck is going on, but the motherfuckers over there, hey, get that motherfucker, get his ass. So I'm booking, you know what I mean? I'm booking down the street in their direction. But when they try to get on me, cause they look and they hear them, so they kind of looking, I could see it in their face, they looking confused, but they don't want to let me get away. You know what I mean? So they call themselves trying to get on me. So I break off into the street, and they break off into the street with me. Nah, it ain't the Warriors, Matt and TM. It was the Wanderers. Yeah, the Wanderers. Yeah. So yeah, I try to Marshawn Lynch beast mode these motherfuckers, right? I slide off into the street. They slide off into the street with me, right? Mind you, I'm barefoot. And these motherfuckers, they start fighting me and shit, right? I shake one of them, right? I kind of like do a swim move on him. I do the swim move on the first one, and you know the other two, they get on me. And I could have shook them. Like if I had some shoes on, I'd have been good. If I had shoes on, I'd have been out of there. But I'm fucking barefoot. So I'm trying to do these agility moves, you know what I mean? But my agility is restricted because I ain't got no fucking shoes on. So I try to shake them, the two ahead of me, you know what I mean? I shake the first one. I do good with him. I try to shake the first two. I fall down because I ain't got no fucking shoes on. So I fall down, right? They start kicking me and stomping me and punching me and shit. But it was weird because, again, like I said, they don't even know why they own me. But they own me because they partners down the street said, get on me. So they don't really understand what's going on. So they own me, but they not really on me, right? Like they kicking me and punching me and shit, but they not really hurting me for real because they don't really understand. Like if they understood what was going on, they probably would be more enthusiastic about jumping me, but they kind of like half-heartedly jumping me, right? So they kicking me and shit. And me, I'm not even really trying to fight back. I'm trying to get out of there because I don't want these people to pull up. By the time these people pull up, I'm trying to be a ghost. I'm trying to be out of there. So I don't even care about fighting these motherfuckers. I'm trying to get away, right? So they kicking me and shit, right? Then I get up, you know what I mean? But I'm hurt, you know what I mean? I don't even realize it at the time, but I done scraped my feet the fuck up. All the bottom of both of my feet and the top of both of my feet, the skin done came off. It was ugly as fuck. I done scraped the shit out of my feet. My feet was fucked up for like probably damn near a month after that. My feet was fucked up. So, and I scraped my face. My face was bleeding. I was all fucked up, right? But I'm like, I'm limping at this point because I'm wounded. You know what I mean? So I'm limping my wounded ass, and I'm yelling I'm yelling for Marv, right? Marv, Marv, Marv ass. He don't even fucking hear me, right? So the dudes, they kind of like stop. They kind of like halfway chasing me, but they like looking like, they don't know what's going on. So I run, and like I said, Marv, when I get to the corner, he supposed to be right there to the right. So I run down the street and I bust that right, and I'm like, what the fuck? Marv ain't there. The truck ain't there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So when I bust that corner, it's like 10 more Mexicans. I'm like, where the fuck these motherfuckers come from? I can't make this shit up. So these motherfuckers, so it's like 10 of them, right? Then the ones that was down the street, they came. So that's 5 more with the 3 that jumped me. So, man, I'm fucked up. I just was fighting 3 motherfuckers. I done fell down, scraped myself. So not only am I hurt, but I'm whooped, man. When you be fighting motherfuckers, man, that shit take a lot out of you, man. So I'm exhausted. I'm hurt. All this shit, right? So then, out of nowhere, I'm like, where the fuck did this nigga go? A van pull up. And like, I don't know how many Mexicans got out this van. It was like another 10 of these motherfuckers, man. A whole bunch of them motherfuckers. It was like some shit out of a movie, man. The motherfuckers, they bust around the corner. They yank around the corner, and then the door slide open, and the motherfuckers just start falling out. They just start spilling out. I'm like, what the fuck? Man, I ain't gonna lie. My motherfucking heart doing this. I'm like, man, these motherfuckers about to kill me. And there was so many motherfuckers that came out of nowhere. This how many motherfuckers, and I don't know where, because mind you, see, this is what's so, to give you a mental picture of why this situation is so odd. It's not like we was in a neighborhood where there's houses around and people coming out their houses, or it's an apartment building where motherfuckers is coming out their apartment building. No, it ain't no houses around here. We in an industrial area. So that's what was so like tripped out about why these, I don't know, maybe they worked over there or something. I don't know. But these motherfuckers just came out of nowhere. Like I said, that van slid up. So there's already 10 of them right there. The van slide up. It seemed like it was another 10 of them inside that little ass van. I don't know how all them motherfuckers was getting out that van like that. So these motherfuckers jump out the van. Then it was a nigga in the mix. I'm like, where the fuck this nigga come from? And he like, yeah, cuz, you got me fucked up, cuz. And I'm like, cuz? I'm like, my nigga, we the only niggas here, man. You supposed to be riding with me, man. You supposed to be helping me out. He on the side with the Mexicans to get me. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was over there and he seen what happened and he ran from the Greyhound station. I don't know what happened, but this nigga just emerged out of nowhere talking about, what's up, cuz? You got me fucked up, cuz. I'm like, oh, nah, man. I got Crips, I got Pisces, I got Essays, I got everybody on my bumper. These niggas about to kill me. So I'm just sitting there like, fuck. And I'm trying to mentally prepare myself to fight these motherfuckers, man. But I know I can't win. Ain't no way in the world I'm finna win. These motherfuckers is finna mangle me. And then magically out of nowhere, this nigga Marv yank up. That nigga Marv yank up, and I motherfucker jump in the truck, and we smash off, and them motherfuckers, boom, 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 they kicking and beating on the truck and shit like that as we smash off, and we get up out of there, man. But talk about a scary ass motherfucking time. I really thought the motherfuckers was gonna kill my ass. But Marv, I'm talking about when he pulled up in the nick of time. If Marv would have been like 30 seconds later, them motherfuckers probably would have had my ass. Especially when that van pulled up. I don't know what they got in the van. The motherfuckers jumped out ready to whoop my ass though. So, but what had happened was this nigga Marv crazy ass for some. Oh, that's what it was. I think some parking people. Just a pimp's luck, man. Some because the area where I left him at, you're not supposed to park there. So some parking enforcement motherfuckers pulled up on him and was like, "Hey, you can't park here." So he went across the street to where when I ran down the street, instead of making that right, I should have made that left. But the nigga didn't let me know, or I might have left my phone. That's probably what it was. So he probably didn't have no way to let me know. But cause I think I knew I was going on some Rambo shit, so I left my phone in the truck. I think that's what happened. But Marv, he we didn't have no communication, and he moved the truck to the left, and I get down the street yelling for his ass. He don't hear me. He probably in the truck bumping like. You know how niggas is, man. Niggas get bored waiting for a nigga, man. He probably in the truck bumping music loud as a motherfucker. He can't hear a pimp screaming down the street for his life. So yeah, that's what happened, man. But that's the story of the 30 Mexicans that was supposed to kill Freeze, but Marv pulled up in the nick of time, man. Detroit, you a fool. You said parking enforcement, he was scared. Nah, I mean, he was in my truck, so, and I'm already knowing, and he young, young at the time, this the little homie. So he probably thinking, he like, damn, he probably in his head like, damn, Freeze gonna be mad if I get a ticket in this truck. So let me move this motherfucker. And I think that's probably what his logic was. But if I could have been able to, I should have let him know. See, that was my bad. As the older, wiser one, I should have been on some like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what happened. Do not move this truck until I get back. If parking enforcement come, if the police come, if a drive-by, if an earthquake happened, tornado, fire, hurricane, don't move this truck. That's what I should have did. I should have let him know that. But it was just miscommunication, man. And boy, because of Marv's, decision making, man, shit, Pimp was getting ready to die in that motherfucker. But fortunately, I think that's what happened. Marv probably looked up and seen what was going on, and he probably knew that had to be me. So his ass, he smashed up and got me, and it was all good. You dig? And I ended up taking him, if I remember correctly, I think I took him to a different Greyhound station, and he was still able to make his journey, and everything was all good. You dig? But yeah, man, that's my pimp tale of Freeze versus 30 Mexicans. You dig? Yeah, man. I told y'all I had a good classic for y'all, man. Put some of this good old love in my body. If you have not already, man, wipe your feet off at the door, step into a pimp's domain. You dig? Let me see. It means check and see. Hold on. It's 120 of y'all up in here right now, but only 91 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door, man. What's up with that? You dig? What's going on? Reggie say, why the sandals? Because, man, like I said, I was in lounge mode. I was at the house chilling, and I wasn't expecting to get out in traffic right then and there. It's in the daytime. I'm at the crib chilling. I wasn't planning on getting in traffic or nothing like that. But the homie needed a ride to the Greyhound station, and I got these motherfucking sandals on. I'm around the crib lounging, so I'm thinking to myself that I'm just finna drop him off and slide right back. Oh, so yeah, the aftermath of the story. I'm tripping. I'm about to leave some crucial parts out. Hold on, let me put some love in my body real quick. Now I ain't passing judgment on nobody, right? But I'm gonna just say to each their own. You know, everybody react to things differently. Everybody, you know what I mean, handle their business how they handle their business. Everybody pimp the way they want to pimp, so on and so forth, right? So I get back to the Ponderosa, and the dude who she told me that she was going to Vegas to rob, I didn't know him personally. I had never met him. I had never been nowhere with him, but he and I had been friends on Facebook for a while. So when she told me who she was going to Vegas to rob, I knew exactly who she was talking about. That's why I said, you know, she wasn't thinking logically. She wasn't thinking with whole logic, because if she was, she would have thought to herself, well, I don't want to tell him my plans because he might know who I'm talking about, and he might contact him and let him know what's going on, right? So so uh so I get back to the joint, and I get him dude inbox on Messenger, and I say, hey man, uh call me as soon as you get a chance, man. I got something important to talk to you about. Right? So dude called me, and I'm like, yeah, man, you know the little broad whoop de whoop that's on her way to you, right? He like, yeah. I said, yeah, man, I just wanted to make you aware, make you privy to what her plans is concerning you, right? I say, man, I just was with the broad, and I told her, I mean, she told me that, you know, she was on her way to Vegas to strip you, basically. You know what I mean? She's gonna get out there, play it cool. She done got your name re-tattooed on her. She coming out there. Her plan is to act smooth for a minute, and then she plan on robbing you, stripping you of your jewelry and your money, and all this shit, right? And I said, I had my own little encounter with her, you know what I mean, and yada 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 happened. He said, yeah, I know. I just got off the phone with the bitch. She over there, talking with the people right now. Woo woo woo. And he like, yeah, man, I'm gonna end up dealing with her when she make it out here, man. Woo woo woo. So I'm like, okay, I dig it. But in my mind, I could tell by his tone and his attitude towards and his reaction towards everything, I could tell he still was gonna try to fuck with the bitch. And it like, I can't prove it. I don't know what happened because I never talked to, seen, or heard from either one of these individuals after this situation. But I really think the dude, because he was like talking with her on the phone and everything and all this old shit. And the way he was making the conversation seem, the way our conversation went, I kind of could tell that he still was gonna fuck with the bitch. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Everybody moved differently, but yeah, I did make pimping aware. And that's what pimping supposed to do, man. You got other motherfuckers that would have been on some like that ain't my business. I don't know, dude. So I'm gonna just let things run their course. But me, I don't like for no hoe to try to get over on the pimping, especially when I could do something about it. And, she was just like a grimy ass bitch. This bitch was just a scandalous motherfucker. She played with them people with me. Then she was talking about robbing and pimping. Oh shit. Fuck. This motherfucker tripping. Okay. It looked like we was having technical difficulties, but we back good. But anyway, the fuck is? It's always some shit. But anyway, yeah. So I did my due diligence. I played my part. I did. What was commendable for a pimp to do, and I put dude on notice. I made him aware to what the bitch was planning on doing, and hopefully he didn't allow that to happen, or he didn't, give her action at fucking with him. You dig? But everybody different, and to each their own. But yeah, so that's that story. You dig? James Hudson say, Freeze, was you in Vegas when the old Showboat Hotel and Casino on Eastern was cracking? I remember the Showboat vaguely, but I never was in there. I kind of remember that hotel, but I never was in there. Freeze, you ever play Chi-Town? Big L, yeah, I have played Chi-Town, and I got some cool pimp tales about Chicago too, man. On another date, I'm gonna save that one. I ain't gonna give you that one right now, but I got some cool pimp tales for Chicago too, man. I like Chicago too. That downtown treated me swell. I fuck with Chicago, but I got some good pimp tales about Chicago too. Reggie Lee say Samoans and Filipinos be running track and sandals. Yeah, James know, cause we from the city, we from Long Beach, man. We got plenty of Samoans and Filipinos around there, and them motherfuckers do be doing all type of shit. You know what I mean? Fighting and doing all kind of shit with sandals on, man. But shout out to the Islanders though. I fuck with them. You know what I mean? Islanders, they some good people, man. If they fuck with you, they fuck with you. Filipinos, Samoans, all of them, they some good people. When they fuck with you, they fuck with you. Detroit, man, I can't give y'all the Chicago story, man. I'm gonna say that one, man, because it's a good ass story. I'm gonna save it for another day. I don't want to give it away, man. I'm gonna say that one for another day. T say, how you feel, brother, when you in a club and you the only one suited and booted? Hey, man, I love it. I love it. You know what I mean? It distinguishes. It serves the purpose that I wanted to serve. It distinguishes me that much more. It separates me that much more, because I'm already a distinguished individual in nature. So, I want to be a distinguished individual in presentation as well. So when I go into a club and I'm the only motherfucker that's suited and booted, oftentimes it's all eyes on me in a good way. You dig? So that go back to speaking with my appearance, speaking with your appearance like we talked about before. Shouts out to ODJ in the sandals. I didn't know he did his thing in sandals, but I wouldn't be surprised though. He a talented motherfucker. Currently changing my wardrobe. Dig that. Reggie Lee, did you cuss out Marv when you got in the truck? Hell yeah, you already know I cussed his ass out, man. I cuss his ass out like a motherfucker, but that's my little nigga though. I fuck with him, man. Well, he ain't little no more. He full. I mean, he wasn't little then, but he the young homie. But that's my bro right there. I got a lot of love for Marv, man. But yeah, I surely did cuss his ass out when I got back in that motherfucker. Yes, sir. I certainly did cuss him out. But it's all love with bro. That's my bro right there. I fucks with him. Spin Fire said because she already told him a lie when she spoke to him. Of course she told him a lie. You know what I mean? I kind of believed that, he probably believed her over me because he know her. He don't know me. you know. But it should have sparked his antennas, just me knowing that she was on her way to him. That should have let him know something, but I don't know. I just kind of get the feeling that he still was fucking with her after that. And I told him that too. I told him how she played with the police with me. You know, I told him how, you know what I mean, I went for the issue and she wasn't trying to get the issue up, and then, you know, she played with them people. I broke that down in detail to him. And he kind of just had like a whatever type of attitude towards everything. So, I don't know. Bro, I think if you was from the South, you would have been from Texas. Yeah, I don't know. I got family that live in Texas now, but my family that lives in Texas now, they originally from California. But you know, all of our family, all of us quote unquote African Americans, all of our family come from the South. My family on my mother's side comes from Arkansas. My family on my father's side, my dad's dad comes from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Mom's side is Little Rock, Arkansas. Pops is Lake Charles, Louisiana. And there's a lot of people in Lake Charles with my last name. Louisiana period, but especially Lake Charles. Like, I was doing a little bit of digging, a little bit of research on my history, and it's a lot of people with my last name in Lake Charles, and my last name ain't very common. So I know them motherfuckers. In my mind, we all related. You know, it's a lot of people in Texas with my last name too. Uh, the spelling of it varies. Like, some people spell it with two L's, some people spell it with one L, but I think we all related. I think the two L's is probably the misspelling. Like, the way my name is spelled, I think that's probably a misspelling that branched off and spread. Like, I think originally the people with my last name, it was spelled with one L. This is just my theory. I don't know if I'm right or not, but my theory is that the people with my last name originally all spelled it with one L, and then somewhere down the line, somebody mistakenly, like maybe the people at the hospital or whatever, mistakenly spelled it with two L's, and then that person or people that spelled it with two L's, they spread that two L shit. You know what I mean? That's just my theory. So I say all of that to say I think people with my last name, black folks, whether you spell it with one L or two, I think we all related because our last name ain't that common. And if you go far back enough, we all come from the same line, I think. So, but yeah, most people from Cali came from Texas and Louisiana. Most people from Chicago came from Mississippi. Yeah, you know your shit, because that's very true. That's very true. Most of us in Cali, most of our people come from Texas or Louisiana. You know what I mean? Some of us come from other places too, like Little Rock or just Arkansas, period. You know what I mean? A lot of us got family that come from there. Those of us in Cali, but most of us, you know, back when the Great Migration took place, back in the day, most of our family came from Texas and Louisiana. You're right about that. And then same thing with Chicago. Most of the Chicago people came from Mississippi and I think Alabama too. Yeah, that's real to the motherfucker. Dante Black say, "What about NYCP? I remember you said you was on Broadway before the game. See, my New York experience is you know, I got a lot more experience before the game than during the game in New York. Before I was in the game, when I was in New York hustling, I spent a lot more time out there during them days. Uh, since I've been in the game, I've been to New York and I've played New York, but I don't really count my time out there like that because it was the internet and I wasn't there very long. The money was alright, but it wasn't spectacular. Like I didn't really I didn't really get no pimping in New York like that. I went there, I played the lines, I was in Manhattan, it was cool, and I'm sure if I would have stayed there longer, it would have been cool. But yeah, I didn't really pimp for real in New York like that. Oh, Bill say very true. My pops is from Texas and he met my mother in Cali. Cali was very popular in the '70s and '80s. Yeah, California was just like it was like the promised land back in the days because we had Lockheed out here and General Motors. You know what I mean? My uncle he worked for General Motors for like shit, probably 30 years. My uncle Chuck, you know what I mean? He worked at General Motors over there in Van Nuys for a long time. So a lot of people, it was a lot of job opportunities here, you know, and plus, the oppression wasn't, it was still oppression going on. It was still segregation and shit like that, but California wasn't nothing like the South, as far as, oppression goes. So, yeah, a lot of people was flocking to California. I'm in Florida right now, bro, and man, it's really a lovely campaign out here. Hey, that's real. That's real. Florida's a beautiful place, man. I love that motherfucker. For real, for real. I will be back very shortly. 'Cause I love that motherfucker. James say, Freeze, you talking about the Greyhound station downtown next to the Plaza Casino with the McDonald's inside? Nah, I ain't talking about that Greyhound station. That's the Vegas Greyhound station. I'm talking about the Greyhound station in LA, downtown. Yeah, nah, but I'm very familiar and very well known for being in that area, that Greyhound downtown Vegas, next to the plaza and all that shit. You know what I mean? That's where I established a lot of respect for myself in the game. You know what I mean? Frequenting that area. Lockheed and Long Beach were paying good money before they folded. My uncle used to work there. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's why a lot of people, Lockheed, McDonnell Douglas, all that type of shit. You know what I mean. McDonnell Douglas over there in the beach, like them places was they was paying good money. I know some people that work for both for Lockheed and McDonnell Douglas, and yeah, a lot of people was making good money at them places for a long time. My mother used to work at a power plant in Cali. Just a lot of opportunity and black unity back then. Yeah, man. Before the drugs and the gangs kicked off, yeah, it was a lot different. When you talk to people from that was around back during them days, yeah, it was much different. But this shit was by design. The gangs taking off the way they did, and the drugs taking off the way they did in the black community. That shit was all by design. It was all by design. That's why shit is the way it is. Y'all go ahead, wipe your feet off at the door if you ain't done so at this point. What I mean by that is go ahead, hit that button that look like that. I'm going to talk for a few more minutes, probably respond to a few more comments, answer a few more questions, then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Put some more love juice in my system, man. Shit, keep a pimp going, man. The only thing I don't like about LA is that we the minority out there, and by me coming from the South, I'm not used to that. Yeah, the demographics in LA done definitely changed drastically, man. We used to have a lot more black communities. It was once upon a time Pacoima, which is in the San Fernando Valley, like the northern part of LA. Pacoima had a real strong black community there. Of course, Watts had a real strong black community there. South Central, of course, had a real strong black community. Later on, Compton came, had a real strong black community. And then other cities weren't predominantly black, but still had they black communities that was tight, like, Carson, Long Beach, Inglewood, Pasadena, Pomona, in a lot of places all around Southern California, period, man. But like I say, the demographics done changed drastically in LA, man. Shit is a whole lot different than it was when I was growing up as far as the demographics go. And a lot of the neighborhoods that we had have been gentrified, man. A lot of shit we don't have no more. My mom's side of the family, they all from Pacoima. My grandparents, they migrated from Little Rock, Arkansas. I think first they was in Pasadena. My mom's side of the family, they came to California in the mid 50s. And I think when they first came, they was in Pasadena. Then they wasn't in Pasadena that long though. They shortly after they landed in Pasadena, they landed in Pacoima, and that's where they settled at. That's where my grandmother raised all my uncles and aunts, or uncles and one aunt, and my mom. I got 9 uncles and 1 aunt, and then my mom. So it was 11 of them. My grandmother had 13 all in all, but she raised 11. But back even when I was a little kid, and especially back in their days, man, like Van Nuys Boulevard in Pacoima, like that's like the main strip where all like the businesses and shit is out there. Back in the days, that shit used to be all black owned. Like everything, all the businesses right there on Van Nuys Boulevard used to be black owned. But today, that shit is nothing of the sort. You dig? And oh hell yeah, like James Hudson say, before Long Beach was gentrified, you could get a cool apartment for 500 back in the day. Hell yeah, you could. I remember them days when I was a kid, for real. And then like, you know, we had a 2 bedroom, me and my pops, like in the mid '90s on the east side. We had a 2 bedroom, and I think when we first moved in there, I want to say he was paying like 750 or 800, something like that, for a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. That shit is unheard of now, though. You know what I mean? Even for a studio apartment, ain't nowhere in the world you gonna pay less than 1,000. You know? Oh hell yeah, Lamert Park in the jungles, man, different, bro. Gentrification, indeed. Those is some more areas, you know what I mean, that was strongly black, and it's still strongly black, but it's not what it was. It's not what it used to be. You know what I mean? Uh, it's a lot of South Central that's still predominantly black, but you know that gentrification, man. Like 10 years from now, we probably ain't going. LA probably ain't going to really have like no quote unquote black neighborhoods. You know, they done tore down the Jordan Downs, or they not completely tore down, as far as I know. They've torn down a lot of the Jordan Downs. You know what I mean? So basically, the Jordan Downs is pretty much about to be no more. That shit gonna be gone. Uh, and they done already tore down a lot of, you know, projects. Ujima Village in Compton, where the Village Town Pyrus is. They projects got tore down a long time ago. Aliso Village, where the First Street East Coasters used to be, they projects got torn down. Dana Strand, where the Waterfront Pyrus used to be, they projects got tore down. You know, a lot of the projects then got torn down, which, you know, it's a good and a bad thing. You know, it's good because, you know, it's a situation where it ain't really good for us as black folks, you know what I mean, to be in a project. But it's like when you ain't got no other option, you know, it's fucked up when they tear some shit down and you can't, you know. And then like in Long Beach on the north side, you know, it's some apartments called the Parwoods. The Parwoods is damn near like the projects, you know what I mean. But the Parwoods, you know, back some time back, you know, I guess you could say that was back in the days. You know, they made the Parwoods just out of nowhere. They made it where you had to have Section 8 to be up in there. You know what I mean? So a lot of the people who've been living in the Parwoods for 20 plus years, you know what I mean, they had to get up out of there. So they done did a lot of shit like that. You know what I mean? They done did a lot of shit where they make it basically where you can't stay there no more and get a motherfucker up out of there. Then they tear shit down and build new shit. So, like Lord Reese say, they pushing everybody out to Palmdale, Lancaster, or San Bernardino. Yeah, they been doing that, but now they doing it even more so. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man, because that motherfucker San Bernardino, boy, that motherfucker is dangerous. What is the percentage of black people in LA now? In the whole city of LA, man, it's probably small as a motherfucker, man. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like less than 15%, man. I want to say the population of black folks in LA back when I was growing up probably was like 20-25%, something like that. But I know it's less now, though. It's I wouldn't be surprised if it was between 10 and 15%. You know. But a A lot of the communities that we had in LA as black folks is gone. A lot of the businesses that we had in LA as black folks is gone. You know what I mean? A lot of the beauty shops and barber shops and markets and all that type of shit. All that shit is gone. Damn, 8.9%. Right. That don't surprise me. Like I said, back in the days, I know it was definitely higher than that. I want to say it was closer to 20%. But now Oakland, on the other hand, up in Northern California, it's still some areas up there that still got a strong black presence. San Francisco done went through a lot of the same shit that LA went through. You know what I mean? A lot of the projects in San Francisco done got torn down. Like I think Frisco done had more projects torn down than LA. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of projects in Frisco done got torn down. It ain't there no more. And Frisco done been heavily gentrified too. You know what I mean? A lot of the black community there is like scarce now. But Oakland, Oakland still got a strong black presence there. Richmond still got a strong black presence. Hey, a lot of black folks already returned to the South, man. As far as California, you know what I mean. A lot of black folks is just leaving Cali. Period. A lot of people going to the South. Then a lot of people going to Arizona too. Arizona been a place like that though, where people from California go, and it's still like that. It's always a lot of black folks moving from Cali to Arizona. So. All major cities trying to push us out. Yeah, man. And then like DC, man. DC is a trip now. DC done drastically changed too, man. And DC has historically been Chocolate City. But DC is way different now. Oh, Bill saying that, yeah, DC is gentrified like a mother now also. Yeah, DC way different now than it used to be. James say, Freeze, I haven't been up to the Bay in a minute. Is Hunters Point and Potrero Hill still standing? I think they are. You know what I mean? Sunnydale Projects is still there too, as far as I know. But like them projects that was like in Fillmore, I want to say Lakeview. You know what I mean? It's a lot of. I'm not like super familiar with Frisco's structure like that, but I just know a lot of their projects that got torn down where black folks was at. Yeah, Harlem hella different now too than it used to be. Yeah, Lord Reese say DC was like 80% black at one point. Yeah. A lot of them cities that ain't in the South, heavily gentrified. Another city that was predominantly black back in the day was Newark, New Jersey. I don't know how it is now, but I wouldn't be surprised if they done been gentrified like a motherfucker too, like damn near everywhere else. But Newark was like 80 or 90% black at one point in time, if I'm not mistaken. Gentrifying New Orleans too. Used to be like 70-some%. Now it's down to 59. Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's a trip to hear about New Orleans, man. You know, certain places you just can't imagine. Like Compton, man. Compton used to be like 80% black or 75% black, some shit like that. But man, now Compton, I wouldn't be surprised if Compton is like 30% black or less than that. Compton has changed drastically, man. It's still a good sized black population there. Oh, T say Newark's still predominantly black, for sure. Every black city for real. Yeah, man. Compton used to be, Compton would flip like crazy. You know, I remember as a kid, man, a lot of different places like Compton. When you go to Compton back when I was a kid, man, because I lived in Compton as a kid for a short period of time, and Compton was like Chocolate City too, man. Like everywhere you went, Compton was black. You know, it was a good Latino population there too, but Compton was like Chocolate City, man. Watts was like that. You know what I mean? Even though Watts is another place where, you know, it's a good Latino population there too, but it was just predominantly black. I think Watts kind of still is. You know what I mean? A lot of South Central still is too, but you know, a lot of that shit getting gentrified. Like, just to give you an idea how Compton done changed. You know, back in the days, Compton was one of them places where a lot of businesses wouldn't come because it just was a black eye. It was a bad look to be in Compton. You got Starbucks in Compton now, Walmart in Compton. Wasn't no Walmart back in the day. It's a big ass Target in Compton. Wasn't no Target back in the day. I think they got a Best Buy in Compton now too. Pacoima was like that too, you know what I mean? Pacoima got a Starbucks now. Pacoima got a Best Buy now. You know what I mean? Wasn't none of that type of shit in Pacoima back in the day. Yeah, James say Pasadena and Altadena was mostly black, but now it's gentrified. Those black folks had money back in the day. Yeah, see, Pasadena always had like a big white population though. They had like a section where it was like predominantly black, which I imagine is different now. And then Altadena, yeah, Altadena always had like a big black population too. Detroit is 96% black. Hey, Detroit, I don't know. Detroit probably gonna stay like that, man. Detroit, one of them cities, man, where them black folks there, they that's just one of them cities. But then DC was like that, man. And DC starting to flip, man. So I never thought I'd see a day where you know what I mean, it'd be so many white people in DC like it is now. But it is though. Not 96%, but they starting on Detroit now too. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this session up, man. You know, we've been chopping this good gang. Before we get up out of here, man, if you have not hit that icon and look like that, man, that thumbs up button, man, go ahead and do that for a pimp now, please and thank you. As y'all already know, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate your comments, your feedback, your questions. I appreciate you subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you, you know, your support in every which way that you come with it. You dig. And y'all already know we're going to do this again much sooner than later. Had to give y'all some pimp tales because I ain't gave y'all no good pimp tales in a minute, man. I know a lot of y'all who've been, you know, it's a lot of newcomers to the channel now. But for those of y'all who've been rocking with me for a minute, man, you know, y'all already know, You know, we done had some classic pimp tales over here, man. So I had to hit y'all with another one. You know, I ain't gave y'all no pimp tales in a minute, and I'm gonna give y'all some pimp tales again in the near future. You know what I mean? I done told, you know, I was asked about Chicago, and I done made y'all aware that I got some Chicago stories too. So we gonna hit that on a later date, but we gonna wrap it up now. Again, I appreciate y'all for everything. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. Put some of this love in my body on the way out. If you're out in traffic moving around on this Friday evening, please do so in a safe fashion. You dig? Freeze